morning and welcome to the Morning Spotlight. My name is Mike Ham. I'm a sales executive for Fidelity National Title Group. Today our guest is Logan Walker, Senior Associate at the Transaction Strategy and Operations Group at Ernst & Young. Logan, how you doing today?
Good, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us about the work that you do at EY.
Yeah, so I'm on as you mentioned, the transaction strategy and operations team. We focus on corporate real estate as well as hospitality. So helping companies, Fortune 500 companies, with their real estate strategy can be around the world. So a lot of times we're interacting with different offices in different regions. Can be a lot of fun. Looking at leases in different languages and currency exchange, as well as hospitality projects. So obviously in COVID right now, we're working through a lot of can be challenging situations and helping them with their business model and how they can best, I guess, reposition or work through their asset side of their portfolio.
Great. So I know you touched on it briefly, but what kind of clients do you work with?
Yeah. So it can vary. We will work with government, so it could be their portfolio. Obviously, if you think of CBRE, JLL, or Cushman& Wakefield, their brokerage by default. EY should not have a bias in the transaction. So bringing someone on that would be on our team, we can come in and help facilitate the transaction, work through the strategy, working with government as well as again, some of those Fortune 500 companies. So it could be a tech company, it could be really any company that you probably would interact with or see in publicly traded.
Right.
Will work through their portfolio.
Great. So going off of that, what conversations have you been having with those clients over the last few months?
Yeah, so depending on what spectrum we're in, so if we're looking more at the Fortune 500 companies, obviously they're more so leasing space or owning space. So looking at their portfolio, maybe they do a sale and leaseback if they want to have a cash infusion. If it is leasing certain spaces, we might be renegotiating at this time, depending on where they're at, how many years are left. So kind of looking at those strategies, a lot of manufacturing facilities where they could lock that in for a lower rate potentially. Whenever we look at more of the hospitality side, we're having a lot of conversations with CFOs of large hotel groups like Hilton, Marriott, understanding what they're seeing, what they see as a return to pre-COVID levels of occupancy, and trying to help them with their strategy. It might be looking holistically. We're seeing a lot more impairments outside of the U.S. So given the U.S. has a lot more right now, incentives are helping out. You're not seeing that as much in other countries. So that's been a lot of the conversation and hearing from investor side as well as directly with companies and kind of how they're managing it. And I think really as we look what they're looking or asking us in this time right now has been on the corporate real estate side, a lot of how do you get back to the office. And we have a workplace strategy team. Dejana Chappelle actually runs that out of our team. She does a fantastic job at working with these companies, trying to figure out their strategy. How do you, what is the best method without maybe leasing additional space to get your people back to work?
It's very interesting. So we've networked through some different groups and stuff over the last few months. So what organizations are you a part of?
Yeah, so quite a few different organizations. I love to interact with other people and get to know really what makes them tick. But one of the organizations that really has had an impact on me throughout my graduate studies has been the Harold E. Eisenberg Foundation. I actually got to go with a part of the group to ICSC and participate in a lot of the kind of watch a lot what was going on, the trading on the floor, their deals being made on the floor, and as well as just their mentorship program. So it's fantastic. They help. They do, if people are not familiar with them, cancer research as well as real estate education for students and helping them get their start in real estate. So it's really fantastic.
No, that sounds great. So for everybody watching, if you want to learn more about Logan, learn more about his business, I'm going to put our contact information, just like always at the end of this video. Logan, thanks for coming on with us today.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And everybody else, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.